Hello, this is Xbox Ahoy, and this is the bonus footage from my time with the M14. With, of course, the bonus commentary that I did last week as well. I think I might make this a regular thing. It gives me a chance to, speak a little more frankly about, some of my experiences with the weapon and, some of the stuff that happened in the last week. And I like the fact that it's going out on a smaller channel as well. I mean, I'm slightly reluctant to post commentaries on my main channel, because they'd be exposed to a higher level of criticism than I'd like. Not saying that I'm a particularly bad commentator, but it's not something that I do, nor that I want to be judged for or known for even. I've always had this sort of mentality that I want to put my best content on Xbox Ahoy, which is why I made my secret account, Ahoy Xbox. So I wanted to talk a little bit about popularity and how that affects, what you do as you become more popular. Because it's starting to feel a little bit different now. Now that I've got a larger following, now that I'm getting a lot more views per video, it's things are changing, and not necessarily for the better. And I kind of miss the days when I had a smaller channel. And I know, obviously there are massive benefits to being more popular. I get more views, and courtesy of the machinima contract I got in December, I also get I get paid for the views that I get, which is it's definitely a nice bonus, and it gives me even more reason to do this. So there are massive benefits to being a larger channel, but what's often overlooked are the benefits to being a smaller channel, and how it affects the content that you put out. I remember back when I had, next to no subscribers, less than 1,000. And, the whole YouTube world was my oyster, so to speak. I could do any content I wanted. I could, pretty much do anything, and it would be above judgment because no one would watch it. So it's remarkably freeing to not have the expectations and the responsibility, that 100,000 people are going to be watching your content. And I know, maybe, if you do have a smaller channel, you'd love to be in my position, but if there was one piece of advice that I can give to a smaller channel, it's grow slowly. If you find overnight success, if you, suddenly go into a position similar to mine where you're getting large number of views, it becomes a lot more difficult. What you really want to do is you want to grow your subscriber base as slowly as you can, which I know it almost sounds perverse, but it's really the truth. If you get a sudden surge in subscribers, they won't necessarily know what you do, who you are, the sort of things that you're capable of or that you like to do. And with a sudden surge of subscribers, you get a sudden surge of different expectations. And I think, the expectations, that's one of the things that makes running a larger channel slightly more difficult. I mean, if I wanted to do, say, something else, if I wanted to do, I don't know, Team Fortress 2 videos or something even more obscure, I think I'd lose my audience. But if you're a smaller channel, you can do precisely whatever you want, and the subscribers you gain from doing that will appreciate you for it. For instance, even if you started doing something really obscure, if there was an audience for it and you grew it really slowly, you'd be in a great position, if you kept on going. But a sudden changing course with a larger channel, it doesn't necessarily do so well. Having said that, I do want to maybe think about doing other things other than Call of Duty. No doubt about it, Call of Duty is always going to be my bread and butter. You can fully expect to see Modern Warfare 3 guides as soon as that comes out. Modern Warfare 4, Modern Warfare 5. It's a safe bet that I'll be covering those games as long as they remain popular. And I think Call of Duty's crown over the next 4 or 5 years is it's definitely secure. But no, I definitely want to get into doing something different, in addition, rather than instead of. Because I know, I certainly play more games other than Call of Duty. And I'm certain that you guys do as well. So, yeah, I think it's looking like I might have a bit more time to invest into my channel over the next year or so. Part of, starting to get paid for this actually helps a bit. It means I can actually, it's a profitable effort now to actually work on new content. So, are we considering my options? I'm not sure precisely how much time I'll have between the next Call of Duty game and the end of the Black Ops series. But I'll certainly be considering my options. I've mentioned on my Twitter feed that I'm considering doing COD 4 and World at War. Not all the weapons. I think I'm not sure how many weapons there are in each of the series, but that would be another 60 episodes or something at least. That might be a little bit excessive, but some of the more popular weapons I'll definitely consider doing. I've got a couple of favourites, and I'll trial them out. Maybe expect to see them September, sometime around about then. Other than that, I'm honestly not sure. I've considered maybe doing something, I don't know, Homefront's coming out, I think, next week. So, I don't think it's going to be very good, if I'm honest. I actually quite liked Frontline's Fuel of War, that's it. That was a pretty good game, sort of. It wasn't very popular, but it was a solid enough shooter. So I don't know, I might consider doing some Homefront content. Maybe, if it's playable, and if it's moderately popular, I will be getting it at least. I'm not going to say that I'm going to cover every single weapon in that game, maybe just a shorter mini-series. I might just cover, maybe each class. Like, if I don't know how the loadouts are going to work, maybe it'll be like Battlefield where you've got 4 different classes. So a short series, perhaps. No promises, of course. Speaking of Battlefield, actually, Battlefield 3 is released later this year, and I am strongly considering some content for that. Although I don't think a year-long series would work. I think the peak lifetime of that probably would be maybe a few weeks. So again, maybe another short series. So, yeah. That's one thing I've been considering, is diversifying my content. I've also, I mentioned a while ago back on my Twitter, about covering maybe some older games. Because obviously, I've got a long and illustrious career of playing video games and wasting my youth, and man, there are some fantastic games from, back in the 90s. I was a big Commodore Amiga gamer. Total fanboy. And I realise, with a name like Xbox Ahoy, I sound like a fanboy now, but really, I like my Xbox, of course. I liked it enough to pick a stupid YouTube name, but I wouldn't really consider myself a fanboy. I'd just as happily have a PS3. And of course, I do have a PC, and I am a PC gamer. But no, the Amiga was that was the only platform over which I was a fanboy. Because, well, quite frankly, it was superior to the Atari ST. Everybody knows that. Right, well, that's about the end of this. I think that wraps up nicely. Well, thanks for watching. This has been Xbox Ahoy, and, well, join me next time for the Spaz 12 video, which should be sometime this weekend, hopefully.